All right, welcome back to another episode of, and Queenie's helping me play today, Community Coffee Time. Thanks, Queenie. Today we have Erin Schneider of Mountain Summit Consulting. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and I told Erin, I was like, no one ever joins us on Zoom, so we don't have to worry about that. But my friend Sandy's here, so thanks for watching, Sandy. We're so happy to have some live interaction today.
Hi, Sandy.
Awesome. So let me get my notes back up. Hope I didn't get rid of them. Up there, right here. Cool. And there's a 20-second delay to Facebook, so I'm going to kind of keep an eye on the chat, but kind of know as well what's happening on Zoom is more real time for Sandy. So it's probably better you're here because on Facebook there's that 20-second delay. And then if anybody catches this recording later, feel free to comment, ask questions, and connect with us afterwards. We're so happy to connect later too. Awesome. So today I'm drinking a homemade iced vanilla latte, part of the coffee part of community coffee time.
Got, I've got my coffee here too. I've got my mud water here. So
Ooh.
nice chai latte thing here.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, Sandy, what are you drinking? She said she got her coffee too. I'm so excited. Somebody live is fun. But yeah, so we're gonna talk with Erin today. Regular old coffee, hey, it's a classic. It's a classic.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, and if people are watching later, you can tell me what you're drinking too. I'm a big coffee person. I drink a lot of tea too. So sometimes I try to have coffee for this because it's in the name, but I tend to drink tea in the morning. So.
I'm more of a tea person too. Yeah, I love my coffee, but yeah, tea throughout the day for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, off topic, but kind of on topic, I guess, with the coffee part of the show.
It's in the title.
Yeah. So today, welcome so much. Oh, welcome. We're so happy to have you here, me and Queenie. Um, and we're so excited to talk about your consulting services and how you can help parents of children with disabilities and the children as well too through supporting the parents.
Thank you. Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah. And I'm just so excited to continue to talk to you. We've connected before, but to hear more about your work and kind of how you can help the community and how you are helping the community too. So to start, would you mind giving a quick introduction?
Yeah, so my name's Erin Schneider. I'm the owner of Mountain Summit Consulting. I have two lovely children, my 7-year-old daughter and my 5-year-old autistic son.
Awesome. And we're going to dive into your business, Mountain Summit Consulting. So tell us a little bit about it. How did it come into creation? What made you want to start a business? And it's fairly new, right?
It is, yeah. I launched beginning of May, so yeah, a month and a half into it.
Ooh.
Yeah, super excited. Yeah, so Mountain Summit Consulting, I help families with children with disabilities find providers and services so they don't have to. And I started it after my son was diagnosed with autism. Going through the process of finding providers and services was so time consuming and overwhelming. Um, I really believe it shouldn't be that hard for parents. So when I did find the right help for my son, we saw amazing results, and it inspired me to help other families find that same success. So again, I don't believe it should be that difficult for families. I want it to be much easier. So if I can take some of that pain away for families, that's my goal.
Yeah. And what a great goal in helping with that pain. What was the most difficult part trying to find services for your son?
I felt very alone, to be honest. You're given this diagnosis, and then you're pretty much just been like, okay, here you go, you're on your own. And there was no one to walk me through the process, no one to help guide me, no one to hold my hand. I remember worrying, like, am I finding the right providers? Was I asking the right questions to get to the right providers? And also, it's very time consuming. We got our diagnosis at the beginning of COVID, which was overwhelming on its own. And then all the research took so much time. It really became a full-time job. And I believe it shouldn't have to be that way for families. You guys have much more important things to do than sit on endless phone calls and making notes of calling providers back, getting them to call you back. It really shouldn't be that difficult. So yeah, I would say nobody to guide me, and then just the amount of time that it took to go through it were the hardest things.
Right. And that's exciting that that can be something that you offer not only in like the logistics part of consulting where it's like connecting with the providers, but also being that support, letting parents know they're not alone because they're not. So it's where is this that disconnect and how can you help connect it back?
Yeah,
And yeah, and then save time because we're all busy. There's so much to do,
so much.
and that can be it's a stressful amount of time, like not only time consuming, but it's not like it's fun. That's it can
Yeah.
be really stressful too. So to decrease that stressful amount of time, I think is
Yeah,
really
it's not
awesome.
fun, sitting there with your, I don't know how other families do it, but I remember like having like like Excel sheets and be like, okay, did I call this person back? And it's not fun. So yeah, so let me do that for you. Let me take that pain away for you. Go spend the time with your kiddos. Go do your job, whatever it is that you need to do. But I can do all that for them. Absolutely.
That's awesome. And I like that you said, you found good services for your son too. And
Mhm.
so I think, diagnosis can be really scary for parents and it can be really stressful, like we're talking about. So it's so nice that you can kind of take away that stress because once they get these good services, it's not as scary of a thing anymore. It's like, oh, okay, now my child is supported. We can go on with life and be happy. It's not a bad thing in the long term.
And there's so many providers that I wasn't aware of, like all these services that I just didn't know about, that it was took over time with my research and things like that. And now I'm making so many connections, which is amazing. And honestly, there's providers I talk to now and I'm like, oh, how do I get my son into this? This is awesome. I wish I would have known about this early on. Because there really wasn't. It was just kind of like, okay, here are the three main services that you need to get for your son. Here's a little bit of financial advice. We're not going to give you too much about that. Boom, there you go. So I mean, I remember at one point my case manager saying to me, she's like, I don't want to overwhelm you, so I'm only going to give you 10 providers for ABA. And I just remember getting that list and being like, this is supposed to be not overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
how is that possible? 10, that's so many. I don't know how to choose. So yeah, so my goal is to definitely, I won't be giving you 10. I don't just give you a list. I work with the families very closely to make sure I'm finding a good fit for them and somebody that really that fits with the family and the child.
Right. And, thinking about that as a provider from the provider side, that's going to save providers time too.
Mhm.
Because I'm not the best fit for everybody. Like, I know that when I'm talking to families and I kind of have a list of colleagues in mind, if it's a situation where, either distance or specialty where I'm like, I'm not going to be the best fit here, or even just kind of philosophy, I'm not going to be the best fit here.
Yeah.
And so you can save providers time too by kind of knowing the different providers and being like, oh, you want play based music therapy, like you should connect with this person. Or, oh, you want more of this neurological music therapy. I'm getting really music therapy specific.
Yeah, well,
That's where my
absolutely. Yeah.
brain's going. Oh, you should connect with these. They're trained in NMT, this company, and really kind of connect with those family values too. So it's exciting. It doesn't just help the families, which is awesome, but it's really this
Mhm.
community impact. It's going to save time for everyone involved.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do. I take my relationships with my providers very seriously because I'm not just recommending any provider to families. I am building a relationship with those providers, getting to know them. I'm doing research on the providers. What's the feedback on these guys? Are they good, or is there a lot of negative feedback out into the world? So I want to make sure that I'm building good relationships with them so I can send them the right families for them as well. That's very important to me. And I always check in with my providers before I meet with the client for their results. I just check in and be like, okay, any changes in insurance? What's your wait list like? Has that changed? So you'll be hearing from me quite a bit once, when I have clients going on. So I'm always checking in with my providers, making sure that they're doing okay, making sure there's no changes going on, because I know things on your end changes a lot too.
Oh yeah, and like previous companies I've worked at, there's like a lot of turnover. So sometimes it's like, is that one therapist still there, or are they
Right.
doing something? Are they out of state now? And like
Right.
that check-in's a great idea to really see where people are at. And as we know from this last year, things can change drastically in a
And
shorter amount of time.
you sure can. Yeah, I mean, I all of a sudden went from in person to okay, everybody needs telehealth to opening up to in person, and now people like both. So, it's checking that too with providers. Like, all right, what are you offering? So it's really important. So I'm all about building relationships with the families and the providers. So that's my goal,
That's awesome. I love that. Relationship focused.
very much.
Very much. And I know you said your son has autism,
Mhm.
and so you obviously do consulting for autism services. Is that kind of your specialty, or are you really open to consulting for any diagnosis?
Yeah, great question. So I'm helping families of any diagnosis, and I focus primarily on infants through school age children.
Okay, it's good to know.
Yep.
Yeah. So that really that early intervention is important to kind of figure out.
Yeah, exactly. So, families might call me before a diagnosis. Maybe they are in early intervention or they want to get into earlier intervention. Um, and yes, Sandy, I am based in Denver. Thank you. I am working with the Denver metro area. But yeah, it's really where are they at with their diagnosis? Are they do they just get a diagnosis and they're like, I don't know where to go? Or maybe their kids are a little bit older and they're aging out of some systems and they need some help guiding them to new therapists and new services.
Awesome. Super good to know. And kind of jumping off of Sandy's question about where you're based, is everything you do for parents online, like on over the phone, Zoom?
Yeah, so my service works really well over Zoom. I like to do Zoom as much as possible because I like to get that face to face and kind of get to know the families a little bit. Obviously, if they want a phone call, I'm happy to do that as well. And if they want in person, I'm happy to do that as well. I have no problem. But for time's sake, most families are like, let's just do Zoom. It's easier. I don't have to leave my house. Sometimes I get to meet the kids that way, which is nice. Um, and especially with once I do the research and I follow up with results for the families, that's just a quick 30-minute phone call where I present my findings and kind of go over everything. So that's a quick Zoom call.
Awesome. So it's convenient.
Convenient, exactly. I am
Yes.
all about making the family lives easier, not harder. So yes,
Right.
convenience all around.
Oh yeah. And that's accessible too, right?
hmm
As we know, a lot of the families we work with have sometimes crazy busy schedules. And so to be accessible in those schedules and convenient, I think is so important. So that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I work around family schedules all the time. So, if you have two full-time working parents and they're like, I can only meet at 6 o'clock at night, let's meet at 6 o'clock at night, So I try to be, again, to make their lives easier, not harder.
Right. Awesome. What do you hope parents can get out of your services?
Great question. Well, I hope that I can help guide them through the process, hold their hand and make lives a little bit easier. Most parents are so busy with work and their children that they just don't have time to do all this research. So I want to make, again, easier, not harder, so they can focus on their family and their lives, not spending hours upon hours trying to get a hold of providers or insurance companies. I want to make that so much easier for them.
Awesome. Sweet. So we'll definitely screen share your website here in a second. So before that, do you have any tips or any quick tips for parents watching today?
Yeah. So my tip to families is don't be afraid of the diagnosis. I know it when you get that diagnosis, it feels so overwhelming and so emotional. Um, and it almost feels all consuming at times too. But there are so many great services out there and a lot of people that want to help you. You are not alone.
Awesome. Sweet. Let's check out your website.
Great.
All right. Here we go. Mountain Summit Consulting. And it's
So
just,
that's
yeah.
Henry.
Yay. Oh, it's got a mask. Very,
Yep. That was definitely early COVID when we were just like, what do we do?
yeah, very cool. And so, yep, a 30-minute consultation. Parents can connect with you.
Absolutely. So they can go right directly to my website and sign up for a 30-minute consultation via my site, or they can just always email me, call me, whatever they want to do. I'm pretty accessible.
Awesome. So this is super easy to look through, get that consult call set up, and you got some resources up here. Especially, I can see you definitely kind of targeting that new diagnosis, like the fears that can pop up, and
Yep.
just resources. Be like, hey, it's all good. Come talk to me. Awesome. Is there anything in particular you want to share on your website?
Yeah, that 30-minute diagnosis, or excuse me, consultation is really the big one. Get on there. Let's talk. Let's talk about your situation. Let's get to know you. Um, my website's there to kind of give you a background of my story. I go a little bit into what it was like for our family. Um, but yeah, I'm really here to support you. So anything I can do to make your guys' lives easier, that's my goal.
Awesome. Beautiful family.
Thank you.
He's cute, Henry.
Yep, he's a handful. He's so fun.
Awesome. Yep. So here's all the story stuff people can check out. And yeah, you got a newsletter?
Newsletter, and yeah, my goal is to do some online parent support groups here too. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah, so I'll be hopefully in the next month I'll be getting those up and running.
Awesome. So when I get this posted later, we'll definitely make sure that your website is in the description, any social media, so people can find you pretty easy.
Thank you.
Is there? Do you want to share your email real quick? So there's other ways people can contact you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can either, like I said, you can go to www.mountainsummitconsulting.com, sign up for that free consultation directly on there, or you can email me at erin@mountainsummitconsulting.com, or you can call me at 720-319-7439. Text me, call me, whatever is easy for you. I am there to, like I said, make your lives easier. So yeah, but all that information is on my website too.
Awesome. Sandy says she loves the name of the business. Great website.
Thank you, Sandy.
And it's great that I think it is so great that your own hardship, you're helping out of your own hardship. Thank you, Sandy. It's a little correction popped up. Typo. I think it is so great that out of your own hardship, you're helping other families. My brain could not figure that out without the right word. I was like, what's going on?
It's almost Friday. It's almost the end of the week.
Exactly. Oh, no, Sandy, you are good. That was me being like, I haven't had enough of my coffee yet. I need to figure out the sense. But yeah, I agree with Sandy. You took your own experience and you were like, this is a need in the community, and you're doing it. You're out there, and I think it's going to be great support. I don't know if my cat got picked up by the mic, but I think she saw a bird. You okay, Queenie?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was. I mean, it really was. It was too much for parents. They shouldn't have to go through that. So, yeah, I felt like, well, I can't be the only one, and for sure, there's other parents out there that feel the same way. So, hopefully, I can help quite a few.
Yeah. Sandy wants to know, do you service any families in the Springs?
Thank you, Sandy. My goal is to, yes, I would like to be statewide here very shortly. So if you do know of families, I do have resources down in the Springs. I actually have quite a few kind of expanding down there. So yes, I do. I'd be happy to help anybody in the Springs.
Awesome. Sandy's a music therapist with her own business in the Springs. So
Very cool. Well, Sandy, we'll have to connect.
yes, I think definitely you guys should connect. That'd be so cool. Awesome. Well, great. I think we're wrapping up. Queenie's back. She she made like the whole round during the talk.
She's kind of like the timer of the event.
Yeah,
It's like, okay,
yeah. She's like, okay,
done.
yeah, gotta cut it off now, Bonnie. Time to cuddle. Basically. Is there anything else you want to share, or do you feel we covered most things?
Yeah, I feel like we covered everything. Thanks. Yeah, good questions.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm like I said, I'm so excited to have you on and to share your services with everybody. So by the end of the day, I'll make sure this is posted on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and get your contact information in the description.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And everybody go use Bonnie too. Like, she's amazing. So get out there and see her.
Oh, thank you, Erin. Awesome. Well, I hope that you have a great day and that everybody watching also has a great day too. Thanks for coming on, Sandy.
Yeah, thanks, Sandy.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Erin.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day. See you.
Bye-bye.